There, that's better. Okay. Turn that on and shut the shades. There. That's it. Who in the hell is Kayak? Greetings. Hit your unmute button down in the lower left. You're muted. Huh. If you click on the little microphone with the red microphone with the cross on it, it doesn't unmute. Huh, that's weird. It should. Maybe you could try logging off and logging back in again. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, okay. We're both thinking the same thing.
Hey, can you hear me now? This is Kayaks.
Yeah, you're good.
The red thing didn't work. There's actually another mute button way up in the upper right corner.
Oh, really? Oh, I'll be darned. It's different. Different computers work differently. I gotta turn my volume up. There we go. How's that? That should be better.
So there's not a huge crowd right now.
No, I think it's just the two of us right now.
Okay.
But it's early. It's only 1:15. So I expect everybody else will be getting online here.
Okay. I'm located in Sequim, Washington. Where are you?
I'm in Aloha, Oregon.
Aloha.
Yeah, aloha.
Okay, I have a friend who lives down there, so.
Was that right? Oh, cool. Oh, and I have a good friend of ours, their parents live up in Squim.
What's her name?
It would have been Rabe, Raabe, I think it is, or Rabe, Raab, I think. Would have been Dawn and trying to think of the wife's name. I'll think of it in a little bit. They're older.
Everybody's older in Squim.
Yeah.
Um,
Barb, Dawn and Barb Rabe or
Okay,
Raby. I think it's Raby.
don't know him by name, but I'm old enough where I joined the Y on the senior plan, and so there's lots of old folks that show up in there.
Oh, cool. Oh,
Don't know
that's good.
their names, so.
Yeah, their daughter's name is Tammy. Tammy and her husband Rick. Now I forgot their last name. terrible with names. Anyway, I'm Mike McCrow. It just says Sound Mikey up there, but my name's Mike McCrow, and I'm a member of the Northwest Club down here.
Okay, I'm a member up here in Squim, and
Okay, cool.
I'm guessing there are more people that are, but I don't know that I met any personally. And for some
Yeah.
reason, can you see me on a camera? My camera's not working either.
No, I don't see your on your camera either.
I had trouble this morning. I had a Zoom meeting at 7:45, and
Did you?
the people I was with, they were complaining and I was complaining, but
Oh boy. Yeah.
so it could be that Zoom's done another update that wasn't as good as it's supposed to.
Who knows? They have that stuff all the time. So anyway, I'm trying to line up the screen because I got a few radios behind me. So can you see me?
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right. All right. And you've hit the stop video icon down in the lower left too, I imagine. Should be stop video or start video down there
Let me try.
on the lower left. So there, you did it. Well, that's amazing. That's amazing that would work, but that the mute button wouldn't work from down there.
I'm trying to show you. I've got a wall of radios I repaired. But you can't really-
Oh, good. Oh, awesome.
So
Oh,
they're
there we
like-
go.
I
That
think
looks like that's a German radio, isn't it?
It is a Thunker Plunken or something like that. And of
Okay,
course-
Blaupunkt or something, or
Yeah, I don't have good lights in I live in a
okay,
I don't have really good lights in here.
okay, cool.
My best one is a Zenith. I think it's a 1269 or something cabinet.
Oh, wow.
I got it for $80.
No kidding.
Worked on a little bit. It ran, and my brother is a radio buff. He came up and said, "I'll give you $5,000 for it right now."
Oh my gosh, really?
It works great. So
Oh, yeah, a lot of those 12 tube Zeniths are worth a lot of money. I know that. I don't have one. My favorite Zenith is this. This is one of them. I got a couple of them here. I actually got 3 Zeniths, but the one that I like a lot is this Cathedral. Zenith didn't make a lot of Cathedrals, but they made this as an 805.
okay,
Can you see that okay?
I can see it fine. Thanks.
Okay. Yeah, it's a Zenith 805, and I did the cabinet on this and then restored the radio. Right now, it's got a little problem with the tuning knob. It's on one of those. I don't know if you know about them or not, but it's on like a pinch wheel that it has to pinch the wheel that turns the dial inside, and it's not working very well. So anyway, I got to pull the chassis back out on this one and straighten that out. Other than that, actually, the radio itself plays fine. So.
I'm trying to think of the one. I've got them scattered around the house, but my favorite one right now is a little desktop. It's called the gold tone or something like that.
Oh, is that right?
Really
Yeah.
good sound.
And then I have let's see, I'm not gonna go back and get it, but you can see it from here.
The dark one.
That's a G500 transoceanic sitting there on the end. Can you see that okay?
I can see it.
Yeah. I restored that here just the other day, got all done with it. I built a battery pack for it, so you can actually take it out and run it on batteries. Okay. And all that. So it plays very well, but it's got, then when I got done with it, I used the black liquid shoe polish on the leather on the outside. And that really brought it back to life.
Ah, that's a good idea.
How you doing, Dave?
Doing really good, Mike. I'm coveting your transoceanic. I've been wanting to get one of those for quite a while, but you know, I just can't justify getting one.
Okay. Well, I was telling Kayak here, Kayak's from Squim, I'm sorry, Washington, and he's joined the meeting tonight.
Well,
But
nice.
I was telling him that I just went through and restored this one, and then went through and recapped it and aligned it and did all that, and then I built a battery pack for it.
That's cool.
Out of it takes 90 volts for B plus and 9 volts for the filaments or the A voltage.
Yeah.
So that was pretty easy. I just used 9 volts, and then I just, you know how you do on those 9 volts, you just click them together, you know.
Yeah.
And in series, and then I took some C batteries. I had 6 of those, and then I wired have the little C battery holders, the little plastic ones. Then I just wired all of those in series to give me my 9 volts for the filament string.
Okay.
So because it doesn't have a rectifier, it's had a selenium.
Right.
Then
did you replace that, or
yeah,
did you?
I did. I put a 1N7004 diode in place of it, and then I changed the resistor, which was a big dropping resistor they had. It was 130 ohm, and I ended up using, what was it? I think it was like I just bumped it up to like about 180 ohm.
About 50 ohms.
Yeah, it was all
Yeah.
the distance I needed, and then I had to mess around. I had to get I had low filament voltage when I did that, so then I reduced the resistor for the filament voltage, which is what was on the can dome, but they it had gone bad anyway, so that kind of made it easy. Then because I was only running like about 7 volts, and it just wasn't enough to make the radio play.
Oh, really?
Well, yeah, because those little 1.5 volt tubes, if you're just a little bit off, I mean, low, that's a huge percentage. So I bumped it up to where I had a good 9 volts, and the thing just plays like a charm. So
the I think that's 50 milliamps is what those tubes run, and right?
Yeah, they are. They're 50 milliamps. There's 4 1-volt tubes. Let's see, there's 2 1U4s, then a 1L6.
Right.
And then what's the other one is a can't remember. I'll think of it. Oh, it's a 1S5. 1S5, that's a detector. And then it has a 3 volt tube, a 3V4.
Yes.
For the audio output. And then so then you take all 5 of those tubes, comes up to 9 volts. But yeah, you're right, they're only 50 mils, but yeah, you can't be low on your filament voltage. And it was Myron that was telling me about that. He said that when you do that and you change from you wire around your selenium and go to a diode, you want to watch your filament voltage is the one that you want to pay attention to when you're changing resistors.
Okay, because you certainly don't want to over voltage those little tubes.
No, but you can't undervolt them either, or it won't play.
Right.
So yeah, you got to be pretty close. I think it ended up being something like, when I got done, I had like 9.4 volts or something, which is well within a margin, that you need. It's not going to overheat those filaments just with an extra 0.4. So it was fine. And then my B plus was kind of the same thing. It was like 94 volts, and it was fine.
Mhm.
So, but anyway, so I did that, been working on that, and then I got a little, I'm jumping the gun on Franklin's, I saw your deal in the email about the topics. And so I don't have an airline radio to show tonight, but I do have a clock radio that I went through, and it's actually one that I got off the free table last Saturday.
Fantastic. I just do that so that we have something to start with, but anybody can bring anything for show and tell. It's just,
Okay.
I don't want to make any, the best thing is just, I just want somebody to show something. So I just try to pick a topic, whatever you want to show. I think it's
Okay. Well, that's cool. That's really cool.
Participation is what's important, right?
Yeah, it's a plastic clock radio, and I picked it up off the free table, and it was cracked in like 3 places. So I got a hold of Pat, Mr. Plastic, and and he helped me out in gluing that back together using the super glue and sanding it down, and then repainting it. And I did
Fantastic.
that. And so it's not cured yet. In fact, I just finished painting it this afternoon. So it was actually a little tacky when I brought it in the house, but I didn't touch it. And I was just going to show, I can't put it together yet, obviously. But I was going to show the radio, both pieces I've got, and I went through and restored the radio, and it plays great. And then I went in and did that plastic rear. It's kind of the rear piece on this one, so I'll have to show it to you. I'll wait till Pat gets on board.
Don't tell her you're seeing until everybody comes on board.
Yeah, that's right.
All over
So
again.
anyway, and this is the funny part. You're gonna love this one, Franklin. I pulled the radio apart to start working on it, and here is here was the owner's manual. Was inside the cabinet inside. Isn't that something? And so now here, not only did I get a radio for free, and now I got it restored, and I'm fixing the cabinet up on it, but now I even have the owner's manual to go along with it. But the only thing I do need is I need a knob for it. One of the little the little bitty clock radio knobs. So, and I think Blake's probably got one. Maybe I tried to call him, but he was in a meeting, so I'm going to talk to him a little later on. But it's not urgent, So I'll have to get the radio. I got to get the radio assembled anyway. So.
Do you recognize the guy Kayak? Do we recognize him? I see you grabbed an airline.
I talked to him. He's to Kayak. He said he's one of our members. You're one of our members. Is that right?
Yeah. So I went over and grabbed this off the shelf.
Oh, wow. Oh, look at that. Oh, look at that. Isn't that neat?
Don't talk about it yet until everybody shows up. So
there's Pat.
Pat's here.
And Warren. Pat and Warren are here.
You want to introduce yourself?
What was that?
You want to Kayak? You want to introduce yourself so we all know?
I'm Bill Stern up in Squim.
Oh, fantastic! We love those up there.
I can see Canada from my house, so kind of like Sarah Palin.
That's awesome.
Squim is a neat place, right? It's in a rain shadow. The rest of you are all wet, and you guys don't, right?
My friend lives over in Keyport, which is about an hour away. Torrential rainstorm over there, and it was sunny here all day. So.
Oh, nice. Today it was a nice day here today. So.
I remember the big deal with Costco, right? You got a Costco in Swim, right?
Yes, we became big time.
I remember it was a big deal when I first moved up there, right?
Yeah. And the bigger town doesn't have one. So which is where the capital is. So.
Hang on a second.
Hi, Warren. How are you doing? How's your hip?
It's fine, getting a lot better.
Oh, hi, Warren.
We're all working in the garden, feeding the cows and everything. What's the difference between an airline and a Silvertone radio?
Awards and Sears.
One's Sears.
Okay, that's it, yeah.
There's, how you doing, Mark?
I gotta get that unmuted. Doing fine.
There you go. All right. Well,
Hi to Pat too. Hi,
let me
Pat.
show, I want to show Pat this cabinet case that I did. Okay, good. It's dry to the, finally it's dry to the touch. I didn't want to touch it, until it had at least gotten dry to the touch, but anyway, here it is here. This is the back portion of the radio. This is an Admiral Model 288 clock radio, and it had 3 cracks on the top, right? One was right here. You can almost kind of see it, but not too well. You have to really look for it. And then there was one over here on the edge. And there was one in the middle that didn't even go all the way through. It just ended here. But I don't know if you can see it. If I go like that, if you can see the cracks in there or not. Maybe you can. I don't know. Maybe not. But anyway, I did all the paint work on it that Pat told me how to do, and it came out really nice. So I'm happy with that. And it was on the oh, wow, it was a little tacky right there. Anyway, I think it's all right. It was on the free table, so that Tom Peterson says free is a very good price. And so anyhow, after I painted it, the cracks in that came out pretty good. So, and then here's the rest of the radio.
So it's warm enough to paint, huh?
Well, Pat says you want to paint it when it's cold.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He says he has better results using paint when it's cold. And here's the front part of it. Here's the clock part, and then here's the insides here, and right there. It only has, get this, it only had 4. I only had to replace 4 capacitors in this thing. 2 Mylar. One, they're either, I think they're both bypass caps. It's got ceramic disc for some of the coupling capacitors, and normal everyday routine All-American 5. And the clock works, everything works on it. So yeah, this was a good deal. But here's the one thing I need. I don't know how well you can see that, but I need, if I go like that, you can kind of see it. I need one of these knobs here for the clock. They're the little, it doesn't want to come off. I'm not going to try and rip it off. Anyhow, it's got, if I go like this, there, then I don't know if you can see that or not, but they got wings on both sides of that knob. If I kind of go like that, you can kind of see it. And they're the typical little clock radio knobs. I need to get one of those. Anyway, I was going to talk to Blake about it. I think he may have one, but it's got kind of a pretty green front.
Man, I missed that for free. Oh, man.
Yeah, how'd you miss that, Pat? I couldn't believe it.
And a black dial too, Pat. Did you see
Yeah.
that?
Got a black dial. And get this, Pat, you're going to love this one. I pulled the chassis out of the radio. In other words, pulled the front section out of the rear cabinet, and this was in there.
Bonus, huh?
Yeah, Admiral Owner's Manual.
Oh, man, I want that.
Is that something?
Wow.
Share it, scan it and share it.
Yeah, so anyhow, that's my project I'm working on right now. And so
Isn't that-
I gotta let the paint dry.
The new thing, tube clock radios. Are we going to be able to? Is that the one that we're going to start doing? Tube clock radios, right?
What you mean?
Are they going to be collectible? I mean, a lot of people
Yeah,
don't
it's a
like.
tube.
Yeah, a lot of people don't like them because they always have the wrong time, right? Because you don't want to keep them all plugged in. So, but I've seen a real surgence of them.
Yeah,
And it's
I've
great.
got, you know what? I have one, but I have one here. I've got a Zenith, and I think I've shown this radio before. But that thing's been plugged into my wall now for, oh, I don't know, about 3 or 4 months. And it just keeps running. It's fine, doesn't bother anything. And I use it as I use it as a regular alarm clock, because I have to get up once in a while to take my daughter-in-law to work at 5 in the morning. So I'll just set the alarm on that sucker and it wakes me up and keeps real good time.
Fantastic.
But the tubes, you can plug them in. I mean, and it's only just a shaded pole motor. It doesn't draw a lot of current and it doesn't really harm anything, and they're not dangerous because it doesn't light the tubes up or anything while you're running the clock.
Right. Yeah, that's right. So you're only using that clock motor.
Yeah, it's just a clock motor. That's all that's being run. So it's all right.
Yeah. And they're neat, those the mid-century ones like that, right?
Yeah. This one here that I just showed you, this Admiral, it's 1957.
Perfect. So Pat, is the ones with the atom symbol, like the atoms that go around it? I know it's a lot of people want those, right?
Yeah, those are atomic radios.
Atomic radios. Yeah. And this one's got the what do you call that? Is the
CD mark
symbol. Yeah, it's got the symbol on the dial for what was that? That was what did they call that, Bruce? Or
Conrad?
Civil defense.
Civil defense. That's what I couldn't remember it. Yeah. Yeah, it's got the 2 civil defense markers on the dial too. That's always cool. So if during the 50s, the Cold War and stuff like that. Yeah, there you go, Franklin. That's got the little triangles on the dial, so you know where to tune in when the nuclear weapons or nuclear bombs are going off around you.
That was one of my finds. I gotta.
Do you remember seeing those symbols on the sides of buildings that where there were
I do, and that
bomb
was like
shelters and stuff?
It was like a fallout shelter that you could go into. Yeah, I remember that back in the day. Yeah.
Remember the duck and cover?
Right. Yeah, duck and cover. Yeah.
Yeah. Had the air raid drills in grade school.
Yeah.
It's sort of a kiss your ass goodbye thing. Right?
Yeah. Yeah, it was during the I remember I was in grade school, and then during the Cuban Missile Crisis, somebody had a bright idea. They wanted all of the children and my classmates and everybody had to get a dog tag, and so we would always wear these little dog. Did any of you other guys do that during the 60s?
Yeah, we had those. Yeah,
did you
for sure.
have those too,
Yeah.
Myron? Yeah, we had those here at our school here in Aloha, and I went to actually a grade school over here, Hazeldale School, and we had to get those little dog tags. You could either have them on your wrist or you could wear them around your neck on a chain or something like that. Just like everybody thought it was cool, like you were in the army or something. When you were 10 years old.
I remember them having to do those drills where we had to get under our desks.
Yeah, duck and cover.
Yeah, duck and cover.
I was a little later, so I don't remember that. But body identifiers, right?
Yeah, it's 61 or 62. It was like October 62. That was when they had the Cuban Missile Crisis with Kennedy facing off and Khrushchev and all that stuff, and Castro. They were afraid we were on the brink of World War III and all this stuff. So everybody was freaking out.
Yeah, those dog tags were stamped in metal.
Yeah,
they had to have
they were.
special machines to do it. Yeah.
Yeah. They look kind of like the military ones,
They were just like the military
They
ones.
were, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I think you put your birthday on there or something. I can't remember what else you put on
something,
there.
or phone number, or
Something, yeah.
pertinent information like that. So in case we had a crisis, you could be found or whatever.
Of course, in those days, we didn't have social security numbers when we were kids.
No,
So
but
couldn't use that.
that wouldn't do you any good anyhow if you were lost and they were trying to find you. So I think it had your name, address, and phone number, if I remember right, Myron.
Yeah, I just don't know if it was a phone number or
Yeah.
something else, yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, that was quite a deal back in the day. So, but you see all those old radios, and if it's got a triangle marker on 2 places on the dial on the AM, those are your civil defense.
Well, the Christmas parade that year in our town, somebody came through with a bomb shelter, on a trailer.
Oh, really?
It was like a,
Oh, wow.
I don't know, it was an 8x12 or something thing with the
Yeah.
spiral staircase made out of
Yeah.
steel and stuff.
Oh,
And
wow.
our neighbors bought it and dug a hole and put it, our next door neighbors. And so they dug this
Nice.
hole and then they put concrete underneath it, and the thing was floating on the concrete. So they had all the neighbors come and get in the thing to weight it down.
Yeah.
So it would sink in the concrete while the concrete set.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
And then
That's
later,
pretty cool.
when we got to be teenagers, we went down there and painted black lights and stuff in there.
So where did you grow up? Where was this at, Myron?
It was in Alabama, yeah.
Oh, in Alabama. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, but
I
our
didn't
next
know-
door
I didn't know
neighbors
that's where
were,
you grew up.
they were liberal college professors. So they were all into the, surviving the nuclear war and stuff.
Well, yeah, but you guys, Alabama, that's not too far off from Cuba. It's not as close as Florida, but it's still down there in the southeast. They were well within the range of those missiles.
Yeah, I'm sure they would have dropped a few on Huntsville. Yeah.
Oh, sure. Yeah, that'd be one of their prime targets.
But everybody worked at the military base. It was Fort McClellan, but they didn't
Oh,
have
was
anything
it? Yeah.
other than they had chemical weapons there at the time.
Oh my gosh.
The Chemical Corps Training Command was there.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Hi, Linda.
Hi, Franklin, sorry.
Oh, no problem. You call me anything you want. I don't care.
Oh, hi.
Everybody say hi to Linda. She's the secretary for Pasara.
Yeah, I'm coming down your way, guys.
Oh, good. Good deal.
Yeah.
So how's the news?
Yeah, I have a question for the group. McLaren auction,
Yeah.
how good are they with radio?
Well, I've gotten some radios from them. They're pretty good. Gary McLaren is a guy that runs the auction. He does a good job. The only thing I noticed is of course, the auction price that you pay when you bid on a radio that varies depending on who's bidding against you, all of that, how popular it is and blah, blah, all that.
Right.
But the one thing that kind of got me was that he had bumped a buyer's fee from 13% to 20%, I think it was. I'm not sure, something like that. So I just kind of myself felt that was like a little steep, but that's just me, I guess. I don't know. Maybe I'm cheap. I'm not sure. But
One of the things
I felt like, I can find radios at our swap meets or whatever just as easy without paying that kind of fee. So anyway.
Yeah, well, I have a 250, 300 radios and assorted other pieces of.
Oh, you're talking about selling them. Okay, I'm sorry.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And I know what bothered me about their contract was if it's less than $20, if the radio sells for less than $20, I don't get a dime.
Really?
Yeah. So 21 to 50 is 50%.
Yeah.
And it goes up from there. But
Well, they typically have those things set for $20 open, but it was a few months ago. You guys remember there was a sale there that stuff just went for ridiculously high prices.
Yes. Yes, I remember that, Myron. We
Like a
were
20
amazed.
A $20 radio that we normally buy was $300, right?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. It was
That one.
unreal.
So I'm not saying that'll be replicated, but at least it happened
No,
one time.
Yeah, you don't know, but
I'm not expecting, my issue is that in order to sell my house, I have to get everything out of it.
yeah. I don't think that you're gonna, I don't know, and I don't want to, speak without knowing, and this is my best guess. But like seeing the fact that the radios that we saw on there that were going at for such a high price. And then if you want to just move the stuff, and so then you're not looking to make a fortune on it. But, you know, the one thing that I know is I don't think I've seen a lot of stuff in there go for less than that for $20, because unless it was just something that was just terrible, like broken case and stuff like that, you know. So, but
I mean, I think their
all radios-
opening is just about always $20.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, I think the one good thing about them is they take a lot of pictures of it,
Yeah,
you know, and you don't have to deal with that.
sure.
So I think there's a
No.
certain amount of value added there.
Yeah,
And
I
Have you
think
guys seen
they
the
do a good
collection?
job too, and their presentations that you get on their website, and their presentations are always really nice. You know, they'll take pictures, and the stuff really looks good on there. And normally speaking, I think he gets good prices because they're on. Not only are they do have the live auction down in Aurora, but they also are online all over the world, all over everywhere. Of course, those people are going to be paying shipping, but people will bid on this stuff from everywhere. So you usually are going to get some fairly good prices. So
Yeah.
it would be rare that anything went for less than what their low asking price of $20 would be. You know,
Yeah.
especially a decent radio, it's going to get up there. It's going to go up there.
And another thing, Mike, that you mentioned is they do deal with the shipping, and the buyer pays all that, right?
Yeah, the buyer
So, you
pays for all
know,
the
you don't have to
shipping.
deal with that. So I mean,
Right.
I think there's, you know, those two things to be said in terms of value add.
Yes, that's a good, that is, Myron. Yeah, absolutely. That's a good deal there.
And Mike,
Well,
you
I'm
actually went and picked it up. You went and picked up your radios there in Aurora
Yeah.
when you won.
Yeah.
Because I've bid a lot and I've never won. So I've been outbid. I mean, I bid a
Oh,
lot.
okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
I did buy some radios from them. I won some auctions from them on a couple radios. And I just kind of felt like, you know, the 13% buyer's fee was decent, you know, but then when it went up, of course, but then everything's going up too. So you can't blame them, you know.
They got
And,
labor costs and everything else.
I may go back and check out some of their auctions again. I don't have anything against. I like Gary. He does a really good job. He does an excellent job as an auctioneer and running that auction house. I know that.
I've gone to a number of auction places on the East Coast, and they've all turned me down because they want to spend the money to come and get them. And
Yeah.
I'm going to find out from McLaren's what they would charge to come and get them.
And
Because
you're-
it's about 1,000 square feet of my
Right,
house has got radios in it. Not completely, but enough that
Mhm.
it's
Well, he's
quite a load.
Yeah, he's just south of us. He's in Aurora. He's not that. In fact, that's where we have our swap meet down there. Actually, right across the street from him is where our the American Legion Hall is, where we have our swap meet, and we're going to have that next month. But
Well, I'm going to find out what he charges to pick them
Yeah.
up.
where are you
Otherwise-
located
and
again?
if it seems too high, I might get a moving company just to come in and take them to him,
Take him down there, yeah.
Yeah.
And
whichever.
where are
would
you
be-
located again?
Mukilteo, right outside of Everett.
Oh, out of Everett. Oh, wow. So you're way up there by the Canadian border.
No,
No,
no.
Oh, no.
near
It-
Seattle.
I'm
It's-
20
it's-
miles north of Seattle.
Oh, is
It's
that
al-
right?
It's almost
Okay.
where the swap meets were.
Yeah. Oh, all right. For some reason, I thought Everett was way further north. All right. Well, never mind. I've never been there, so sorry.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
I live a quarter mile from Payne Field,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
so,
The Seattle swap meets were in Shoreline, so I guess that's not too far then.
no,
huh?
that's about.
Oh, all right. All right.
Maybe
All right. Well,
10,
sorry.
maybe 10 miles away. No, if you don't know the area, you don't.
No,
know the
I don't
area.
that
No
well.
problem with that.
I just thought Everett was a lot further north. Well, no, that's not so bad. That's really not so bad to ship them
It's
from there
200
down
miles.
there, or get a big truck and haul them down there. Maybe they
Yeah,
can do that.
it's
I don't
200
know.
miles. No,
Yeah.
I can't do any lifting.
Oh.
So, yeah, so I'm gonna need to have someone else do it.
Yeah.
But the thing, there are some consoles.
Mhm.
There's one we found the other day. I've forgotten about it. It's not a radio, it's a wire recorder.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I've
So-
seen those.
And we found a guitar yesterday. It's flat. You play it flat.
Oh, it's a steel guitar?
Yeah, I think so. And it's in a case
Uh-huh.
and it's plastic. It looks Art Deco.
Wow.
So
That might be worth
I'm gonna
something.
look that one. Yeah, that might be worth something.
Well, that's a good part with him too, is he does all kinds of antiques. You know, he doesn't do just radios or whatever. He does, you know, you name it, he does all kinds of antiques. So if you have something like that, you know, he'll put that up for auction too.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm gonna give the Seattle people just one more chance after the meeting on Sunday. Come and get it.
All right. This is your
Otherwise,
final
it's gone,
chance.
gone. Yeah, because I can't move till I empty the house.
Yeah, yeah. No, I hear you.
And I'm not taking that stuff with me.
Yeah,
I'm going from a big 2,400 square foot house to a 1,200 square foot house.
right.
So I need to find a good home for it. And
Right.
you know, I just wanted to get your guys' opinion.
Yeah, he does a good job. I know that. He gets plenty for his fees, which is understandable, you know.
Sure, you got to pay the auctioneer and the workers and the people that run the
Right, right.
computers and-
Yeah, he has to run that business, so
Yeah.
that's all understandable.
Hey, Mike,
Yeah.
on McLaren's auction, can't we go back and look at previous radio auctions and see how much people paid just to kind of show
Yeah.
Linda?
Sure.
Sure
Yeah,
can.
absolutely. Or you can do that. Have you gotten on to, Linda, have you gotten on to McLaren auctions to see what radios have sold for on there?
No.
Yeah, you can do that.
Yeah.
Probably
Like,
just give an idea of what they're going for. You know, what if people are actually still buying consoles and stuff? Because I know that they had that big one for the TVs. I forgot who it was that had all the TVs south of us that was in our club. And a lot of those just didn't sell at all. They didn't even get minimum bid of $20.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Well, TVs are kind of a hard one, and some of the consoles are that way too. They're getting to be kind of a drug in the market, or people just don't want them because they're so big, you know.
Shipping is
And
crazy too. I mean,
Yeah, all the consoles that we have have record players in them.
Uh-huh.
But we have a lot of electronics, have some turntables and other things. So
Yeah. Well, it depends on what they are, you know, like for instance, if you have like a silver tone, you know, with a slide rule dial that, you know, is in rough shape, it's not going to probably bring much of anything, and it may not even make the $20 bid. But if you have a 12 tube Zenith or a Spartan or a 15 tube Spartan or something like that, those things are worth a lot, you know, and they'll usually they have a pretty high demand, that type of thing. So it depends on what kind of console, what kind of radio it is.
yeah, have you looked at the pictures on our website?
No.
Oh, yeah.
Not on the PSARA website?
No, Puget Sound Antique Radio.com
Uh-huh.
/estate sale.
Oh, really?
So, you know, that's the link. If you don't
Okay,
use the /estate sale, you're not going to get the picture.
gotcha. But yeah, that's who I was talking about, is PSARA, Antique Radio Association.
Right. Well, they
there's no hyperlink from the website to her estate sale, so you have to type it in.
Right.
Because it's right now it's just exclusively club members, right? So I know you
Yeah,
let us get some, but
/estate sale.
so you don't mind if I start publishing that? I mean, I haven't put it on the website because, you know, it was kind of exclusive to PRSA people first, right?
right. But the thing is, I can't. Well, I'd rather I not ship it.
Right.
But I might get like Julia to ship it to somebody, you know, or meet them halfway or save it for Centralia.
Well, I sure appreciate the radios I
I
got.
don't know, you know.
I sure appreciate the radios I got from you. I love them. They're great. They'll fit right into my collection. So I thank you so much.
Yeah, I found a couple of other interesting, you know, that every time you open or, you know, clean out a corner, I said, oh my God, there's some more.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, so,
Well, so are you currently selling the radios off right now? If someone wants to come and buy them or?
yeah, just to the club members and you guys too. So,
Okay, all right, okay.
But you know, as far as getting them to you, that might be
Or,
problematic. but I can
yeah,
ask-
or getting them shipped down to Gary.
Well, we got
Or-
some radios up there, so we're gonna figure out something, Linda. So we can do that one way or the other. We'll get them to the
Okay,
member.
well, we can always give them to Julia. She can put them in the storage unit. You know, and then
Oh,
bring
okay.
them to meetings or whatever, you know, as long as somebody's not buying 500 radios. It's a very large collection.
You
It'd be
never
worth
know.
It'd be worth a trip for radios, right?
Yeah, we give guided tours.
Okay.
I want to make sure I got that right. I got PugetSoundRadio.com/estate sale
Antique
and I got not found.
Puget Sound is www.
Yeah, I've got the website. It's just the slash.
/estate sale. You have to type that in or you'll just get the website.
Pat's gonna put it in the chat, so you'll have it all. So we have it. We just haven't opened it up to our group members yet because
Oh, all right.
it's supposed to start with PRSA. So I wanted to give them a chance, but
So it's PugetSoundAntiqueRadio.com
Oh,
/estate sale.
antique radio. Ah,
Yeah, you got to put it all.
Sorry.
Yeah, I'm already on the page, so I know it works. So.
oh, there we go. There's the link for the pad. Just put them for everybody.
yeah, I got it. Thanks.
And you've got more stuff, right? I mean, it's not on there.
Yeah, there's a whole room where some of the she didn't take pictures of the turntables. And there were some radios in there too, and there's stuff that's hiding. You know, you got a shelf in front of it, and you got to move the shelf in order to find the radio. So yeah, there's stuff in there, but that's give you an idea of what's there.
Linda, is the wire recorder, is it on the picture on the club list?
It should be. I saw her
Okay.
take pictures of it.
Okay,
It should
It
be
does
like,
of it.
it's you know, it says, you know, wall. I don't, you know, she just went by room, you know, there's groups of them, so it probably would not be the garage wall. It's in with my freezer. It's in the same room as the freezer. I call it the freezer room or the furnace room.
So
But
I
don't
see
know
a,
what she called
I
it.
see a pair of Zenith transoceanic transistors there.
We have oh, and the tubes are gone, by the way.
Mike Miller got them.
Yeah, Mike Miller got them.
So you're happy with
Good.
that? Glad you're happy with that. That's
He
a
was-
relief.
He came down and or up rather, and he looked at the tubes and he was going to offer me one price, and he came and looked at all the tubes and he says they're in numerical order, they are tested and they're boxed. So he gave me more money. Which is fine. That's good.
It's
Add
good
that
as
to
you're happy if you're happy with it. That's what's good. If you're
it's probably not what they're worth,
yeah.
but he has to make a living at selling these. And he's going to donate some of the proceeds to some of the charitable organizations that he works with. So that's, you know, we're happy with our arrangement with him. So, and I told the club they can just go to Mike Miller if they need tubes.
Yeah, I think that's a good deal
Yeah.
because he can store them, he can, box them and all that stuff. And itemize everything he's got and, and then if anybody in the club wants a tube from him, he usually gives us a good deal on them. I bought a few from him here at the Rick Rial ham fair. I bought, I don't know, what was it? About 15 or 20 tubes or something like that from him. And he gave me a good deal on all of them. I traded him some audio tubes too, some 12AX7. So he gave me a discount on those. So that always works out very well.
Yeah, we had
He's a
10 of them.
good guy to deal with.
Happy. We
Yeah,
had
yeah.
10 12AX7. He was looking for the audio stuff.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
And he got
Everybody does that's
Yeah.
in the tube business.
he got some test equipment, just some little stuff. But no, all of the Hickok tube testers sold at Mike and Key.
Oh, at the Mike and Key? Oh, good.
I think one of the Transoceanic 1000D sold too. I remember again.
Well, that's 10 more left.
Oh, you got that many more, huh? But I think Mark was talking about the transistor ones. You have that many, or of the transistor style, the silver colored ones, smaller ones?
These are all the black.
Black big ones, right? Yeah, the two.
There's two of the transistor ones on about the seventh photograph or so.
Yeah, I know one of them sold. The other ones you might still have, but I know one of them sold. I was kind of there when it sold.
Looks like a 1000 and a 3000 maybe.
Oh, I think it was the 1000 that sold.
Yeah, there's hidden gems in there.
Definitely. Well, we're going to start the show and tell.
Okay.
Bill,
Sounds
you
good.
want- or
Mike
maybe
Myron has one.
Myron, you want to show yours until Bill's ready?
Okay, yeah, this is a little McCracken set. It says 14BR522. And in classic McCracken, it says 50-60, then it says 20. And I can't imagine I paid $10 for it. But it's a 1941 set. It's a big tube AA5 guy, but it's a little tiny
Nice.
set, right?
Yeah.
But it's missing the back. These had the metal backs that they use for antennas with the louvers in them. And
Yeah.
so that's missing.
Oh, wow.
And
That's nice.
yeah, well, the cool thing is, the knobs have embedded in them. It says volume and tuning, actually is part of the plastic on the knobs.
Uh-huh.
And then the dial is this guy here, which you can buy a repro for, this one's all
okay.
melted and shrunken and everything, but it goes in there, right? There's no cracks or anything. It's in pretty good shape, really.
Hey, Myron, I'm able to reuse dials like that. I just take the radio apart and you can heat that up gently with the heat gun and use glue to attach it to the frame of the airline radio. And, as long as you can read it, it's still usable. I know they shrink a bit, but
Yeah, I mean, the paint on it's not too bad, actually, but it's shrunken and a little curved. And so that might work. Yeah, I should
Yeah.
try that.
you heat it up and then I put it between, saran wrap or something so it doesn't stick to two pieces of wood. And then clamp it down after you kind of heat it up a bit. But you gotta be careful.
Oh.
Those heat guns get way too hot. So
Oh,
you
yeah,
just kind of
yeah.
want to warm it up to the part where it's just a little bit pliable. And then what's cooling, you clamp down two pieces of wood, one on top, one on the bottom. But you have to have something underneath it and on top because otherwise the dial will stick to the piece of wood.
Yeah, for sure.
You can use a hair dryer instead.
That's
of
what
a
I was
heat gun.
wondering. Yeah.
Yeah, and they don't get quite so hot.
Another warning on Myron is make sure that the wood, if you use wood, it doesn't have grain in it because you only press the grain into the plastic. I've done that.
Oh, right. Maybe Bakelite would be better.
Yeah, light or even some even metal is better because it'll cool real quick too. That way with metal.
And then this is an Airline what does it say? 94 BR 1525.
Oh, that's nice.
And I had the problem with the dial. They have little pin nuts on the back that hold this plastic dial into the Bakelite. And Pat
yeah.
gave me one of those. Yeah.
Yeah, I've dealt with that before too. You know,
It turns out you can get little, instead of those square pin nuts, you can get round ones at the hardware store that fit that size shaft, if you want to call it that. That press fit on there, and they work just fine. So
oh, that's cool.
the other thing I did was just today I put whiteout on the dial indicator because
Oh, yeah, that's good.
you know they don't have a pilot light.
Yeah.
And
they don't.
I think this mold goes pre-war. I mean, this is 49, and I think they made this radio for almost 10 years. The cabinet. They dug this mold back out after the war and used it again. Now, I believe this has the wrong knobs on it, that the correct knobs are like bullet shaped with little slots on the sides of them, right? So this is how it came from McCracken's, but
that's nice.
it doesn't make any sense. But yeah, I did what Pat said, was use the Blue Magic to polish this thing. And, you know, it makes a real nice, you know, nice shine on it.
It does. Is that Plaskin or Bakelite?
I believe it's Bakelite.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. And once you clean it up and then you use that Blue Magic, you know, metal polish on there,
Sure.
then it just, you know, really makes it look good.
Really shine it up.
So
That's good.
those are the two airlines, both from McCracken's, that I have. But
This
like I
is-
say, I think it's interesting that they used this same mold for probably almost 10 years.
This is not an airline, but I wanted to show, this was one of my latest projects and it's a, oops, gotta open the case up. It's a G500 transoceanic. It's one that I picked up down at the Rick Rial ham fair and bought from a guy down there. And then I went through and restored it. And then I used, I don't know if you can see the case or not, but I used black shoe polish on all of the leather. I had the chassis out of it. And then I went ahead and used the black shoe polish all over the whole case. And it came out really good. And then what I did was, it has the, I'll show you the back here. It has the place where you take, and let me raise it up. You have the, let me hold this. You put the 120 cord, has to go up down into the chassis when you're running it on battery, right? And but it won't fit the polarized plug. So I talked to Blake and he said, and what he'd done is you can take a small little flat file and you can file that chassis out. Now, of course, you got the metal filings going everywhere. And what I did was I did it so that I went from the inside of the chassis out and then just took the file and went down with it. And then I used, to be safe, on top of that, I used a vacuum cleaner to pull out and vacuum up any little metal filings when I was using my file, and I filed it on both sides and did it fine. And then, so now the plug goes down in there and it turns on the switch for battery. So, no, I'm not. And so, anyway, but that's what I got it on now, and I built a battery pack for it.
Seems to really know why the reporting is that it was Biden himself.
But anyway, that's running on battery right now, because I got the wire plugged into it, and it works just great. So I'm real happy with that. And the battery pack, I built that out of, I got like a plastic box to put the batteries in, and then I got a male plug to plug the cord coming from the radio into it, and wired that all into that plastic box. And I used 10 9 volts for my 90 volts on B plus. And then I used 6 C batteries, and they were all in little battery holders. And I got them wired in series for 9 volts for the filaments. and it worked out just great, and good filament voltage. And also, oh, Myron, I wanted to tell you too, for the AC rectifier, the selenium, I wanted to thank you because I did wire around that with a 1N7004 diode. And then what I did, I followed your advice. I made sure that the filament voltage was correct on my resistor line, my line resistor. And paid more attention to that than the B plus. And then the B plus came in fine as well. It was 94 volts, I think, running it on AC, and my filament voltage was something like 9.2 or somewhere, right around close to 9 volts. It was plenty. So the radio just plays great on battery. So anyway, thanks for that. So anyway, that's my TO project.
Yeah, it's interesting that those don't have the swivel handle, or does that have the swivel handle? There was a transition. It looks like it did have the swivel handle.
Oh, the handle on top, you mean?
Yeah, I think it does have the swivel handle.
Yeah,
but
it swivels back and forth.
I say, yeah, but
yeah,
the previous generation didn't.
Oh, yeah. And then this has got the antenna up on the lid, and then it screws into the 2 studs, which is really nice because then those studs are connected down through the hinges and on down. There's a connector from the top of the inside that connects to the radio. And then that goes up and it goes into the hinges, and the hinges are a solid connection, and the wire just pivots with the hinges because the wire runs sideways in the cabinet up inside underneath the wood. And so then when you open and close that lid, there's no, it's a solid connection there. And the only thing that pivots is the wire itself. And the wires, it's probably what, I don't know, 8 inches on each side or somewhere in there. So there's plenty of room for that wire. And it's stranded wire too. It's for those wires just to pivot, doesn't hurt them at all, and that's how it makes its connection up to the antenna in the lid. And then you put the antenna in, and it's got 2 thumb nuts that you screw in, and they hold it tight to those studs, and that gives you your antenna connection.
But the reason it was removable is so you could take and put suction cups on it and
Yep.
put it on the glass
Exactly.
in your train.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. And I got the suction cups came with this thing too. And they plug in, they're just like the little, I think they're like the negative connector on a 9-volt battery. They're that style connector on everything.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Listen, I got to take off early because I got to go pick up my daughter-in-law. So I'm going to have to bag out. I don't know what time I'll get back. If you guys are still on or not, I can get on. But
All right, thanks, Mike.
I got to head out. So anyway, yeah, you bet, Franklin. We'll see you guys later. Thanks.
So
Bye-bye.
I forgot the guy from Squim. You want to go ahead and go,
Sure.
everybody, so that we all know you?
Bill Stern from Squim, moved here 12 years ago. First thing I found out that there are lots of radio buffs who died, and their wives were selling all their radio stuff. You'd go into a garage and there must have been 10,000 tubes, 20 or 30 radios, and it still goes on every day or every weekend when there's a big sale. I picked this guy up, which I'm only showing you because it was easy to get off. Westinghouse, you got one free when you bought a refrigerator from Westinghouse, and this fit right on top of the refrigerator.
Because they can't do anything else.
So I'll move that out of the way. And because I saw Airliner, I pulled this off the shelf. Not very good at manipulating the camera.
Yeah, if you could back it up a little bit, we could see it. Yeah, there we go.
And this is a model, some of you might know what it is, Airline Radio GSL 1079. And my house has a metal roof on it, so I have the antenna up, but I'm not getting any signal to it. And it's in great shape, good leather.
How many bands is that?
I couldn't count them all. There's a lot. And none of them have any signals anymore that I can get. Can you see it?
That's solid state?
No, it's tube, 10 tube.
Wow.
I'll open the back so you can see that. pretty busy back in there.
Wow, I've never seen one of those.
This is the info on it. It's really hard to look at the PC and aim the camera.
It looks like the date code might be 6403.
That's a stamp on there that you're looking at.
Yeah, I think that might mean, you know, early in 1964.
March of 64.
It's pretty late for tubes, but you know, that's pretty interesting set.
Yeah.
I would think it'd probably be work week. So it's in January of 64.
Yeah, I agree, Dave.
Hey, if I wanted to find out about radio sales in Squim, where would I look? Would I look on Craigslist or a paper ad, or how would I find out about those?
During the summer, the local Squim paper has them advertised. There's a paper in Port Angeles and a paper in Squim that comes out on Wednesday, and they have all the sales listed, and usually they have the list of things that are going on. And there's a couple of estate managers who go in and set everything up. And I was telling the guy who left that I got a Zenith 12S something, 267 or something for $85, big console. And my brother, who's more into radios than I am, came up and said he'd give me a couple $1,000 for it right now so he could take it home and play with it. So it works great. So, but it's hard to say when they are. Fishing equipment, radios, and car parts are all over the place up here. And it's mainly a retirement community. And when one of the partners, like the man or the wife, dies, all of a sudden there's a huge garage sale. And then 2 weeks later, the house is for sale. So, but like everywhere else, property values are tripling up here for no apparent reason. So, okay, any questions?
Well, thank you so much. That was a neat set. I really liked that Airline.
I've got a bunch more, but they're all along the wall and too much trouble to get them down. So.
Always point the camera over there, that direction. Cool. Anybody else? There, Pat's got.
Say
Well-
Pat must have one.
Yeah, I've got one. This is real similar to Myron's, and I don't know if I showed this before, but this is the one that had this crack on top. And if you look inside, you probably can't tell very well, but there's a half circle where it was cracked. And you know, when a plastic big light radio gets a crack in it, it's pretty much junk and people don't bother, you know, and I figured, well, I'll just attempt it. So I was able to repair it with super glue, like what Mike did. And then I sanded down and got it all nice. And then I just used a clear spray coat, but I didn't like coat it heavily, so it was shiny. It has this kind of a matte finish. But if you look real closely up here, you can't see this half crack or half circle crack that's up there. And I think it came out real well. And I've done probably 4 or 5 other radios just like this with that kind of repair, where it's Bakelite, repair with super glue, and sprayed over with like a clear. So anyhow, that's my Airline. And of course, I'm also missing the back.
Yeah, that's nice work, Pat. The one thing I was going to mention is I was looking at my spare parts that came out of that set, and I think that's the one where I dissolved the volume control with the tuner cleaner.
Oxit.
Yeah, I used the oxit and it just dissolved the entire volume control.
Ooh.
Ouch.
So watch out for that. There's another deoxit that comes in a tiny little container that claims to not contain any solvents, and that's what you're supposed to use on those older volume controls. Yeah, I think that's what dissolved my volume control. Yeah.
Okay, so don't use this.
I don't think so. Yeah.
Well, why would it dissolve? I would think that, you know, if it's an older one, it would have stuff that's pretty indestructible, and maybe newer stuff would have some kind of cheap plastic that would just melt.
Well, I think what happened was the newer stuff, they had a disc which was actually composed with, carbon in it. And so there was some sort of a solid disc that the wiper ran on, but the disc was flat, right? And the wiper, pushed on the top of that, right? But this older volume control that was in the set that I had was like a ribbon that went around the circumference of the volume control. And they had just painted some carbon on there, probably in two different sections. Because it's logarithmic, they would paint the first third with some kind of carbon, and then the last 2/3 with a different kind of carbon. It would kind of approximate, a logarithmic control. But because that stuff was just painted on the circumference, there was some flexible thing that went around the circumference, and the wiper just pushed around that circumference. You could see it displace the material, the whatever it was that went around the circumference. It didn't go all the way against the outside of the case, obviously, but when it wiped around, you could see it displace that material, and that carbon, when that deoxide hit it, it just dissolved it. It was like paint or something. It was sprayed on there, and it just came right off. So apparently the change was, around 1940 or something, with different manufacturers, different times. So I had to get a newer volume control to fit in that particular one. But I never encountered that before, so it was something to learn, watch out for.
So Bruce, you got something to show? He left.
Well, if no one has any airline, Franklin, maybe you can see if anyone got something from the auction. And they
Oh, there
wanna
we
show
go.
it.
Mark's got an airline.
Yeah, it's a little portable airline. Vacuum tubes inside, batteries. I haven't tried to power it up yet. Leather case. That's the power switch right there, so you don't ruin your batteries.
Cool.
Is it battery only?
Yes, battery only.
Wow.
What kind of batteries?
Well, it wants the A cell, wards number 27, and a B battery is awards number 40. And
Cool.
tubes are in there upside down.
What kind of tubes? Similar to the transoceanics?
1R5, something J4, 1U5, and a 3V4. Yeah, 1U4. 4-tube receiver. Kind of cute.
Yeah, 50 milliamp tubes.
So yeah, anyway, there it is.
Where'd you get it, Mark?
I don't remember. I think I might have bought it at one of the club auctions a couple years ago. Or it might have been on a free table.
Cool.
I just kind of partial to leather portable radios. I've got a couple of Zeniths from 56, 57. I think this is in the same time frame.
Where are you gonna get batteries to power that?
What was the question?
Where can you get batteries to power that?
I don't think you can anymore. You have to make your own.
Oh,
You know, it's a lot of different, well, there's an ever-ready number 560 or 964 or a 477.
hey Franklin, maybe we should have a tech talk and see if someone can tell us how to, make a battery out of that using modern batteries.
I think Myron would be great at that. He knows how to do that, right, Myron?
Yeah, it's not too hard. I mean, the real issue is the size, right? And then in some sets, there's the connectors. I mean, it's not too hard to figure out what you need. If you need a 1.5 or, in this case, it might be 7.5 volts, depends on if they're hooked in parallel or series. And then typically the B plus battery will be 67.5, sometimes 45. But the size, is really always the challenge, just so to fit in there and still have it close, right? Because you can add up a bunch of 9-volt batteries and that's fine, but you want to be able to close the back. Because the manufacturers went out of their way to make it so that you could, only use their batteries. And especially with the tube sets, the earlier tube sets, they had battery packs that had, like Zenith had those battery packs for the transoceanics. And it was just the connector that made it so you had to use their battery packs. But to be fair, the Zenith ones were rated at over 200 hours. So, that cut down the cost. But I think the radio manufacturers in that era made more money from their batteries than they did from the radios. That's why transistors were such a bitch, because, they only needed one little battery or something.
Well, did anyone get anything from the auction?
I must have.
No, I missed the auction, went up to the Mike and Key Hamfest up in Puyallup.
What'd you
Actually,
get?
Pat, I feel really proud of myself. I haven't bought anything off the last 3 auctions. And I actually am quite proud of myself on that one. So
You're slipping, Dave.
no, it's I'm actually gaining control. So,
Oh, look at
showing,
the speaker. Pat's got a nice speaker there. Look at that speaker cloth. Looks
Yeah.
good.
Well, I sent out a, email not too long ago because I got this on Saturday and I took it home and figured out, well, I got some speaker cloth because I didn't think anyone had it. And then Sonny replied back that he sells on his website, but for a pair of cloths for this is like $45. Of course, he gives a big discount if you buy and you're a club member, but this is just one of those 100 speakers, 100-A. And so I got this one and a 100-B speaker, both of them for $1. And of course, the grill cloth is bad on all of them. So I just used this, something that my wife gave me. It's just some kind of, cloth, and ironed it out and stuck it in there. And it seems to look, it looks okay, but it's not original.
Yeah, it does look okay.
So you guys got to start coming to our meetings and get auctions. We got to get more than $1 for this stuff. I mean, it's not even worth dragging home to auction.
That's what my wife's afraid I might come home with too much of that stuff.
You have to sneak it in the back door.
Oh, okay.
So Warren, are you going to come to the April swap meet?
I'm going to try to. Yep.
One thing I've noticed is that Mike brought up that that cloth place over on McLaughlin. What's it called? Anyway,
Hilton.
they had,
Hilton Mill.
yeah, the mill place. They have a lot of mill ends that are really great for speaker cloth, and they sell it for 45 cents an ounce. So if you find a little section, you know, that of something that you want, it's free basically. So I recently got a speaker cloth over there, you know, for 60 cents basically.
Myron, was it actually embroidered cloth, like real speaker cloth?
Well, it has a rectangular pattern in it. So, I mean, it's not all that elaborate like the older ones were. But this was for a Gilfillan 4T that
Should I run get it?
no, it's okay. That got refinished, Esteban refinished for me, and it looks really nice. So it just has a little square grill cloth behind the cutouts in the wood. And so it's a pretty plain pattern, but as near as I can tell, there's no examples of that set that had the original grill cloth. So nobody knows what it really looked like. It's just a little, you know, rectangular pattern. We got like 2 or 3 of them and then decided on the best one to use, you know, but it's glued in from the back with no cardboard, which is kind of a challenge to get it flat. A lot of, you know, starch when you iron it out, right?
Well, gentlemen, I think I'm gonna take off.
Thanks for coming, Mark. So Myron, do you think the guy that's doing the CNC machining of backs, he could make the cardboard for the grill cloths? I mean, that seemed like that would be simple work there.
I'm sure they could do that. In this case of this Gilfillan, there's round holes in the cabinet so that the speaker cloth has to be glued in. There was no place for the cardboard to go past the round holes for the dial and the volume control. If you put a piece of cardboard, it would have to actually be non-existent where those holes were, just the way the thing was built. So it was pretty clear that it was glued in from the back. And so it worked out pretty good, but there's, you know, a tiny little place where it's not flat, you know, where you put it in and it's not taut, but looks pretty good actually.
Did you see any grill cloth for like that little Miracle, that, you know, the refrigerator radio? You know, it's kind of like it's really a canvas, a real thick canvas.
Yeah, it's a real coarse weave. I don't think I saw
Yeah.
anything like that. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. It's a real specialty item. There must be something. It's almost like burlap.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, a real thick burlap. Yeah, it kind of. It's you know, I haven't found anything. So.
Yeah, I don't think I saw anything like that. I mean, they've got these tables full of mill-ins, and they're all, you know, some of them are a foot square, some of them were 8 inches square, and stuff like that. And they're upholstery looking stuff. You had to special order and everything. So the mill-ins were really the place to go.
Well, Franklin, show me a picture of what it looks like offline, because I got a box of grill cloth and some of it's pretty coarse looking.
Cool. Oh, Myron's going to come back with it. Yeah, so Pat, we got to get Myron to do a tech talk. He has so much information. It'd be great to have him do a little tech talk of whatever he wants. He does a great job on the air, telling us, educating us. So,
Do you know when the next Mike and Blake radio repair session will be? Did they say they're going to do May, June?
I'm out of the loop there. I
Oh,
told you, right?
well, Jay's not here from Seattle. I'm kind of wondering how does, so they don't record their PSARA Zoom meetings.
No, but then they can't put it on YouTube for other people to see. And I know Jeff Quay was telling me that he really enjoys to watch the recorded version of it. And then there's like 5 other people that watch it on a regular basis. I get analytics that tell me. I mean, they watch it on a regular basis. We get maybe 10 to 15 views, and that's about it. But what you got there, Myron?
So this is the gill filling with the new grill cloth, and it has little metal pieces that go around these holes, and the knobs stick through, and there's little plastic pieces that fit behind the knobs. One of them's labeled with stations, and the other one just says gill filling or whatever. But that's the grill cloth that goes with it.
You also polish the handle.
Oh yeah, and the handle, it has these metal handles. And the same thing as these round pieces that go around the holes here. You put those in vinegar and
salt.
shine them up, polish
salt.
them up.
And salt.
So it's a 4T, it's a TRF with 4 tubes from about 32 or 33 or something. But I was going to order the plastic pieces that went in the holes here, and the metal pieces that go around the plastic pieces are similar to the handle on top, and in that they shined up real nice.
Yeah, very decorative.
Look like copper, yeah. And does anybody know, have you seen those ads? There's a guy selling, quote, antique radios, and he's in Hillsboro. He has one of these 4Ts that he wants $120 or something for. But the grill cloth is like some kind of houndstooth or something. But I didn't know, he must not be in the club because he wants a lot of money for his radios. I haven't seen that he's sold any either.
And he's on Craigslist, is that what you said?
Yeah, for the last couple of weeks, if you search for antique radios, he always has antique radios, and then he has the same text just about in every one. He says, replace capacitors. What else does he say? Works good. But he uses the same text on almost all of his sets. He has, 8 or 10 sets for sale, but they're lots of money for all of them. So like I say, none of them have disappeared. So he must not know about the club or something.
Where'd you get that one, Myron?
I think I got this for $1 at the auction last year. One of the auctions that we had during the pandemic. And then,
Esteban for you?
Yeah, Esteban did this great, repaint job on it, which, refinish job. So it's beautiful,
So was there any replacement, veneer replacement, or did he just refinish it?
Oh, yeah, no, it was intact. It was like a little, this front piece is like veneer or plywood or something. And so there was a couple of divots in there that are totally invisible at this point. But otherwise, all the pieces were there. It had fallen apart. And so I glued it back together, and then this front piece glues in and, fits tight in the front. And so he fixed those divots and refinished it. But I think the grill cloth, if it's not original, it's probably as close as anybody else is going to come. And interestingly, the speaker is big enough so that it goes between the holes, right? So if you take a piece of cardboard, that's what I was saying, and cut it out, and then cut out a round, make it rectangular, and then cut out a round hole in the middle, you wouldn't have anything left of the cardboard because the speaker actually fits, its diameter fits in between these two holes. And so your cardboard wouldn't have any attachment from the top and the bottom. So it was pretty clear that it had been just glued into the back of the wood when it was original. But yeah, it was a basket case when I bought it, in the sense that the chassis was in a box. I mean, the cabinet was in a box, right? So it was all pieces falling apart. Because the sides and the top and the bottom are like, 1 by whatever pine or fir or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And with grooves and things cut in them. And then the front is a plywood with a veneer on the front. But that front, has a real nice grain and everything. pretty nice set. But I'm sure you guys all know that Gilfillan was like the only West Coast manufacturer that had RCA patents for many years. And so they made sets in their factory for a whole bunch of different manufacturers in Los Angeles. So there's a number of sets that show up that, you know, were made by Gilfillan, but have other people's names on them. Because they were the only RCA patent holder from like, I don't know, 1930 to 35 or something like that.
They were pretty premium though, weren't they? Gilfillan, that was their premium. You know, you putting their own name on them, so they're fairly expensive sets, right?
Yeah, well, because they had the license, right? And so that made them exclusive. Everybody else was still using TRFs and that sort of thing. So they could have, even though this was a TRF, but they could make, you know, super het sets and that sort of thing under license without being threatened by RCA. For a long time, I would say Gilfillan, but it's Gilfillan, actually. So anyway, that's a set that, thanks to Esteban, I've been working on. But that grill cloth was, you know, 65 cents. So.
Well, Franklin, what's next Wednesday?
I forgot. It was in the email, but
Arvin,
Arvin.
Arvin. Yeah, okay, there we go. Well, everybody's got Arvin stuff, right?
no,
Did they have a retailer? I mean, Airline was obviously Montgomery Works, but what about Arvin?
I don't believe so. I mean, I don't know. Sounds like it would be.
So it wasn't a house brand. It was just like you could buy it at most any Five and Dime or something like that.
I believe so. I wish Dan was here. He could answer that question. So, Mike, what did you get at the auction? I know you got something. You were there.
I bid $2 and I won a RF signal generator. It's a Knight. It's you know, it's kind of beat up, but for $2, it's not too bad.
Fantastic.
Yep. Now I just gotta find the time to fix it up. It needs some work.
Have you been sorting your tubes?
No, I haven't. I'm way behind on that. No.
Have you heard the rumors about the Soviet tubes that they're not going to be for a year? I guess they're not going to take any orders.
Oh, the Sovtex?
Yeah.
Well, Mike Miller will be in good. He'll be in good shape.
So all the tube manufacturers are holding their tubes now because they don't know what the prices are going to go, right? It's going to be a wild. Christian can tell us about it. Christian, why don't you tell us about it? Is he there? Christian, are you there? I guess not.
So who outbid me on the Heathkit regenerative receiver?
You remember, Pat?
No, I think it was Jeff. I think he got it for what, $15 or something like that.
Well,
Yep,
that's good.
That's what I remember.
That's good. I just didn't want it to be given away.
He said it was. I think he told me about it. Yeah, that's the one that he bought at the end there. it was poorly put together. He had a heck of a time fixing it. So, but he got it done. Jeff's not on today either.
Who got the Heathkit capacitance checker? Because I got inquiries that somebody else wants to buy it. And if whoever bought it wants to turn a profit, they can do so, but I don't remember who bought it.
You can watch the.
I got it.
Oh,
Who
you got
did?
it? I did.
Yeah,
Who's I got it?
Don.
Oh, you want to sell it, Don?
Not yet.
Okay. What'd you have to pay for it?
It wasn't much. I don't. Oh, I think it was $7 maybe,
Yeah.
7 or 8.
Pat, what's he?
Oh, I don't know. This guy just saw our website and the auction and he wanted to know how much things went for. I said, because I'm pretty sure it went for $7 or $8. And I told him, he goes, ouch. So he says, well, if the person who bought it wants to sell it, then, contact him. So Don, I'll forward that to you, but it's kind of like this guy, who knows what he'll pay for it, but I don't know if you want to ship it. He lives 200 miles away.
Oh,
Besides, if you want, I know that I would like to buy it too, because I'm going to need one eventually.
yeah. I'm still checking out to see how well it works and everything too. So
I think that's the style that you can put the voltage back through it so you can regenerate or whatever you do to like old capacitors, like the metal cans, new old stock, you can revitalize them or whatever you want to call it.
Reform.
Yeah, sorry, reform.
it's got a voltage test, voltage leakage test on it, and it says Heathkit Precision. I think it says on it, which I've never heard of myself. Is that did they have a line of test equipment for professionals or something?
Does it say Heathkit or just Heath Precision?
Oh, maybe it was Heath.
Yeah, that was the one that's not a kit. It was pre-assembled. If it doesn't say kit on it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. It's different from the other capacitor checker. The kit one is totally different from that one. Because I have one of those too, the kit one.
So Jake, did you get anything at the auction?